Have you ever stopped to think that rainwater could be a valuable source of drinking water in emergency situations? But at the same time, did you know that it can be a health risk if not treated properly? In a crisis, rainwater might be your only option for staying hydrated, cooking, and even for other essential needs. That's why it's crucial to understand how to collect it safely, store it correctly, and most importantly, purify it to prevent contamination that could endanger your health. In today's video, we'll cover everything you need to know about rainwater. Is it safe for consumption? How to collect it efficiently? The best ways to store it? And the most effective purification techniques. Stick with me until the end because I'll share a simple trick that could make all the difference between having drinkable water available or risking your family's health. Rainwater is one of the most accessible sources of water in emergency situations, but at the same time, it's one of the most delicate when it comes to consumption. This is because rainwater, as it falls, can be contaminated by various substances. Air pollutants, debris from rooftops and gutters, and even microorganisms could be present in rainwater, making it unsafe for direct consumption. Therefore, before considering drinking rainwater or using it for cooking, there are some important steps you need to follow to ensure it is safe. First, let's talk about how to collect rainwater properly. To ensure that the water you collect is as clean as possible, it's essential to use an efficient collection system. The best way to collect rainwater is by using clean gutters that direct the water to a reservoir. Make sure the gutters aren't blocked by leaves or other debris and that the roof is free of dirt, such as animal waste. The collected water should be directed into a container that is covered with a lid to prevent dirt from contaminating the water. Additionally, it's a good practice to install filters in the gutters or pipes that direct the water to the reservoir. Filters can help remove larger particles like leaves, twigs, and dust that can degrade water quality. If possible, use activated charcoal or ceramic filters, which are effective at removing many types of impurities. To ensure even better water quality, it's important to carry out the first rain process, the first water that falls after a dry period, which typically carries more pollutants. It should be discarded as it contains substances accumulated on surfaces during the dry time. The water that comes after the first rain tends to be cleaner and safer for consumption. Now let's talk about storage. Once collected, rainwater needs to be stored properly to ensure it doesn't become contaminated. Ideally, water should be stored in high-quality plastic tanks or barrels with sealed lids to prevent dirt, insects, or other contaminants from getting in. Ensure that the reservoirs are clean and that the water is used within a reasonable time frame. Water stored for too long can deteriorate, especially in hot climates. One tip is to use dark-colored storage, containers such as black or green barrels, which help prevent algae growth. If you live in an area where rainwater is a frequent source of supply, consider installing a more complex collection system, such as a water filter or a manual pump, to ensure the water is filtered and accessible when needed. This is an efficient solution, especially for those living in rural areas or places with limited access to potable water. However, the most important thing to understand is that rainwater is not safe for immediate consumption without undergoing a purification process. To ensure it's free of microorganisms, viruses, and bacteria, it needs to be purified before drinking. There are various ways to purify water, and each method is important depending on the situation. One of the simplest and most accessible ways to purify rainwater is by boiling it. Boiling the water for at least 5 minutes eliminates most pathogens present in it. Boiling is an effective technique that doesn't require expensive equipment. All you need is a pot and a heat source, like a campfire or a gas stove. After boiling, allow the water to cool before consuming it. This ensures that all microorganisms, such as bacteria and viruses, are eliminated. Another highly effective method of purification is using water purification tablets or liquid chlorine. Purification tablets are generally based on chemical compounds, like chlorine or iodine, which kill bacteria and viruses, making the water safe for consumption. These tablets are extremely compact, easy to carry, and can be stored for long periods, making them perfect for your survival kit. To use, simply dissolve the tablet in the collected water. Follow the manufacturer's instructions on the waiting time, usually between 30 minutes to an hour, and then the water will be safe to drink. For those seeking a more advanced option, there are specific filters for rainwater purification. Ceramic filters, activated charcoal and ultraviolet UV filtration systems are highly effective. They can eliminate not only physical impurities, but also bacteria and viruses present in the water. Ceramic filters, for example, are great for removing sediments and particles, while UV filters use light to neutralize harmful microorganisms. These systems may be more expensive, but they provide more efficient purification and better water quality. In more extreme cases, where continuous purification is necessary, you can turn to distillation systems. Distillation involves boiling the water, collecting the vapor, and condensing it back into liquid water, removing any impurities or contaminants. Although this process takes longer and consumes more energy, it can be a good option in situations where water needs to be purified effectively. However, even with all these purification methods, it's important to remember that rainwater collected is not 100% risk-free and should always be consumed with caution, especially if it hasn't been properly purified. The best practice is to ensure that the collected water is stored safely and treated with one of the methods I mentioned before drinking it. If you have any doubt about the water's condition, never hesitate to purify it again to ensure the safety of your family. In summary, rainwater can be an excellent source of potable water in emergency situations, but it requires careful collection, storage, and purification. With the right kit and proper purification methods, you can turn rainwater into a safe resource for consumption, protecting health and ensuring survival in critical moments. If you like this video and want to learn more about how to prepare for emergency situations, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more tips like these. Preparation is essential to ensure your safety and that of your family. Until the next video,